Yeah, we're really grateful that the council's made this decision, that they've done a thorough investigation, they've balanced all of the evidence, and they've decided that it's time to end the harassment and intimidation outside the clinic.
Okay, Claire, let's get your response then.
We don't believe that there was ever harassment or intimidation. I think groups like the Manifesto Club, who are civil liberties groups and are not at all pro-life, have also said that they don't believe there's harassment or intimidation going on. If there had been, staff and the clinics could have brought evidence of this to the police over the last 23 years. We believe that there is desire to remove us because we're pro-life, and also a lack of understanding that we see large numbers of women who are being coerced into abortion by their situations, who have no alternatives and are offered none by the clinics.
Polly, is that the case? Are these women being coerced into abortions? And it seems there aren't any complaints.
There are a number of complaints. If you look at the evidence pack that the council gathered over the last 6 months, it includes responses from residents who, I think 85% of the residents that replied to the online consultation said that they had personally witnessed that they would describe as intimidation and harassing behaviour outside the clinic. And the women that are accessing the clinic kept a log. They have hundreds of personal testimony from women saying that that was the experience that they had.
How are we defining the harassment then? What examples can you give? What's the worst thing that's happened?
So women are being told that this is not the clinic, so they're being turned away by the anti-protesters outside of the clinic, so that they almost miss their appointment, and in some cases have missed their appointment. They're being called murderers, they're being given leaflets with misleading information, they're being called mum, chased down the street. I had to flick through the clinic log actually before I came in, and one example was that someone's arm was grabbed, so they were physically prevented from going into the clinic.
Claire, is that the case? Is it unfair for women in this situation to be called mum as they're entering an abortion clinic?
Well, I mean, individuals have called women mum. I don't personally see an issue with that. They are mothers, and I think that's a different thing from calling women...
But they're in a time of crisis.
It's a different thing from calling women murderers. Now, the specific incident of a woman's arm being caught, at the time this happened, according to the log, sister supporter were present. The clinic CCTV is trained on the gate where they said this incident occurred, and yet there's no CCTV. Sister supporter doesn't claim to have witnessed it on the day. No report was made to the police. I assure you, if sister supporter had witnessed that, there would have been a report made to the police. And this is exactly what we found with numerous of the, not hundreds of very minor incidents mainly logged, but any of the logs that Mary Stopes have put forward to of any serious nature, we question the accuracy of them, and that's a particular one, a case in point I would like to put before sister supporter. They were there when that allegedly happened. Why did they not report it? Because it didn't happen.
Well, let's get Polly's view.
Well, I wasn't there and I didn't see that happening, but I would question whether women accessing that clinic, giving their testimony to the receptionists and doctors inside the clinic, are lying. I don't think they are.
In many cases, these testimonies are not written down by the women, they're written down by the clinic staff. Clinic staff are making hundreds of pounds on each abortion. I wish I could say that that wasn't influencing this campaign, but since BPAS, the largest UK abortion provider, is heavily backing this campaign and wants to see it go nationwide, and is being used as though it was a government agency in the Home Office report on these issues. I can't really say that there's any evidence that the clinics are being neutral or unbiased, and why would they?
Well, on the issue of whether or not these women using this clinic feel intimidated, certainly the Ealing Council ran a consultation, and 81% of those who responded to that said they did feel intimidated.
Sister Support have been standing outside this clinic for over the last 18 months, and over 2 years really, and they have been, they're a campaigning organisation. They speak to everyone going past, and they repeat these allegations to women going past and men in the area. It is now commonly believed in Ealing that these things happen, but it's very, very hard to find the person who can witness having seen one of us call somebody murderer, because it's not happening.
But you admitted that you called them mum, and that would make somebody potentially going through a period of crisis, not necessarily sure what's going on, feel very unhappy, I imagine.
I'm not denying that some people have called women mum, because that's happened, and I'm just here to tell the truth about what's been occurring. I mean, personally, I think they are mothers. I don't address women as mum, but I can't equate that with calling a woman a murderer. I think trying to hide fetal development information, trying to hide the fact that the woman is carrying a child, it's not helping women in making the decision. The woman has to be the master of all the information and then make her decision. It's not for us to keep this information back or pretend it isn't so. It's the same with the information on our leaflet.
Polly, I can see you nodding there. It's a fair, valid point, isn't it, that women should be informed?
We 100% agree, but what I find difficult is the insinuation that women aren't able to make considered decisions for themselves, that they aren't able to gather the evidence that they need to make the best decisions for themselves and for their families, and that is what happens. Women are not children. They are fully autonomous individuals that are able to make decisions for themselves.
Do you think with this safe zone then, these vigils will be pushed back? Do you think that will make it easier for women?
Absolutely. So with the safe zone, there's 100 metres now outside the clinic where vigilers cannot carry on, they cannot approach women, they can't put placards up and they can't call them names, etc. And I think that that's going to make a real difference. It's a real reduction in harm, and I think it's a really compassionate move from Ealing Council.
Claire, what will your next steps be? Will your organisation stick to that decision?
Well, first of all, Sister Support have been campaigning against this place that we will be able to offer this help to women down the road. So they're not in favour of that at all. They want us just gone, and they don't want us to be able to offer information to women, hundreds of whom tell us they didn't have these offers of help and support and had no other opportunities to get it.
Well, if I can just bring the point of evidence into this, there's no evidence of those women. You've not
20
put forward
of these women
any
have submitted testimonies to the council. None of them are included in the report.
Why should we believe those 20 women, but you don't believe the hundreds and thousands of responses from Ealing residents and from women in the clinic?
There aren't hundreds and thousands of responses from women who've been going into the clinic.
There are thousands of responses from Ealing residents,
but
and 83% of them said that they had absolutely witnessed distressing and harassing behaviour.
Look, I think all women's views should be taken into consideration, ours as well as yours. Why are these women being dismissed? Why is their words? You know, somebody being a bit upset that somebody's offered them a leaflet at the gate does not equate to me with somebody having to go through an abortion that they don't want. And you can't deny those women exist just because you want to airbrush them out.
I absolutely would not want any woman to ever be coerced into having an abortion.
Well,
That's
this is
not
happening.
what we stand for.